Good morning. How are we? I'm just going to send this off to different people. I still, all these years of using this, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, so. Oh, goodness me, I tell you what, it's freezing here. I think it's because we've still got no heating, but it should be fixed tomorrow. Oh, can't wait. Anyway, it's sad, isn't it? It's very sad. So, I'm just posting out a thing to show people. I'm just making sure that the event is going out live. Wow, it's cold. Oh, gosh, it's freezing here. Anyway, I just keep trying to share this out to people. It's been very quiet. Partly that's due to me, I know, not being around much, but it's been so quiet. If you can share this out, the better. So what we've got, first of all, warm up my hands. Got to warm up my hands. So let's have a little look at what we've got. So the first thing is I've collected some various items together. I've got my coconut oil, which I love. This is just food coconut oil, which we cook with. I have got some Vaseline, which has changed colour because I think it's how cold it is in here. It doesn't matter if it's gone off because it's just for because it's been in car, it's boiled and cold and boiled and cold, but it's good for working with. I've got my Zest-It, which I love. I've got some bits, some of these. I've got Derwent, Stadler, and a sharpener that Faber-Castell like to tell you to get. Oh no, they don't actually. They don't tell you to get anything. And I've got some hand gel, which is great. So I went ahead. I've been showing you my pencils that I've been using, and I was using the 36, which was to sort of promote on the TV, which is absolutely fantastic. Let me get them. I didn't get these. See, I thought it was organised. Yeah, but you know what thought did? So these are the pencils I use. These are the 36. Now, these come in and brilliant. Let me just move you forward a little bit. Excuse me 1 minute. I've got it on a chair, so I've got to make sure I'm not kicking the chair, but you're in line. Oh, so these are the Faber-Castell I've been using, or Faber-Castell, whatever. It's cheese or it's tomato, isn't it? Whatever you want. You can see I do use them. I have got a tip to tell you that I have tried the white in this, and although I love it, I have found that the whites, which I have spares of, 101, I prefer the other one actually. I prefer the Prisma White because it's brighter on it. So what I've got here is my good old Prismas as well, which are wonderful pen. Oh, my heart went there. I looked in that and I thought, oh, what's going on? Right, so I've got my pencils. This is a no-no. This is a no-no for Prismas. That is a no-no. You should never have them that high, ever, because they break too quick. Now, I found this out to my detriment. This is how they should be sharpened. Small. Don't break. Okay, so that's a little tip for you. So I found that out through my research, believe it or not. So I've got the Prismas, I've got the Faber-Castell, and then I bought myself this. Bad boy! I think there's a song in that, isn't there? So, I don't want to get the camera. oh. Ooh, right, I might have to move that camera because I'm kicking the crap out of it here. Look. So anyway, let's have a little look at the tin. So, I don't know how many I've got in me. How many I've got in that one actually? 72 in the Prisma colours. Do you know what? First of all, I prefer this tin, box, whatever you want to call it. I prefer that. Right, just let me go up and see. Good morning to a few of you. Hello Doreen, hi Sue, hi Thelma, hi Jill, hi Valerie, hi JJ. Good morning Julie. Good morning Doreen and Sue. Hi Karen, hi Emma, hi Linda. Hi Helen, hi Dawn, hi Jill, hi Caroline, hi Margaret. Yeah, it's I prefer this tin box thing. This is just far, to me, far superior than having a... Hi Raina, hi Elaine, hi Liz. Than a tin. I don't like the tins because, look, you can see, I'm just showing you, masking tape and tape all over it. I can't do out with that. I'm dropping them. My other half dropped them by mistake, but at the time it felt like he'd done it on purpose. And he hadn't. It's just, oh, I'm fed up with him. So it's another £100 to get him in a wooden box, and I don't want that. Hello, Lena. Hi, Bet. Hi, Pidge. So I like this box. That's my first thing. I might even do a little, like, breakdown of this box and make my own so that I can carry this. So here we've got 120, and first of all, why don't they go in look, why don't they go with the right numbers? That annoys me. The box is secure as a tin. It's got magnets on it. Look. In fact, considering my Prisma colour, look at that, it's got sellotape all over it. This, right, you really have to give it a wallop. But it's only when you're going like that. Perhaps, maybe if I make one, I'd put another couple of magnets on it, just underneath, because you've got room for it there. Or even a bit of Velcro, good old Velcro. Knicker elastic will do, don't care. Right, the first thing is, I love them, absolutely love them. Let's have a look. High quality acid free pigments in bright colours. That's the first thing I like. Oh, look at the state of me. I'm not showing you me. Unsurpassed light fastness. I agree with that. I've done my research. It is. It's really got a high quality with light fastness. Soft vibrant colours, yeah, absolutely. The laydown's brilliant. Water resistant and smudge proof. I haven't tried the water resistant yet, but smudge proof it is. 0.38 of a lead. I hate that word. It's not lead, it's pigment. It's not graph, it's just pigment. Oh, but they use the word lead. High break resistance due to secure bonding process. Yes. Now that's like more heat added, baked it well, looks really good. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Glynis, my old mate. Right, here we go. This is nearly good as having a shower, because I've not got any water. I had to go to my friends for a shower. I'm telling you. Cellophane. Why? Is that eco? Why? I would rather they put a bit of tape on there or something. So, tin's nice and matte. Let's have a look. Secure. I like the way you've got all your bits and bobs. Now, you've got your colour, but that's great. But I'm not going to turn my tin over every water colour. Oh, seriousness, seriousness, seriousness. Oh! Now, I'm liking the elastic. Oh, I'm liking the elastic. That is so handy. I've not seen that before. Have you? So we've got, oh my God. Excuse me. I know, sorry if you don't like that. How could I wish for more? We've got metallics. We've got all the cool and warm greys. Look at that. We don't often get that many. We've got the lights. We've got the turquoises. Oh, the reds and oranges. Oh, right. I'm in heaven. And what I really like, and you know, I don't use black a lot, but I do use it, is we've got a very dark colour in each colour that we've got. So we've got a very bright colour and a very dark colour. So if I take this one, 278, you know, that would be a very dark green. Okay. And in the, is this indigo? I've got a dark indigo as well for the blues and the purples. So I'm happy that I've got that. Right, Caroline, it's not wax. This is oil. These are oil. Okay, so that's the first thing. With wax, you get a bloom, which is a white coating on it that you wipe off. That's the wax. It's a bit like when you see, you know, candle wax, and it's transparent when warm, but as soon as it goes cold, you get a white wax, a white film. That's called a bloom. That's wax. These are oil. Very different. Okay, so I'm liking that we've got a very dark colour in every colour. I'm liking that we've got so many greys, because the greys go really well with the browns, and the greys go beautiful with the yellows. You know, if I pull out a yellow, they go beautifully with the greys. You get that warm and cold, but you know, just as equally as nice if I pull out a greeny yellow or a, that goes as well. So I'm really in awe of these. I really love this. This is clever, because just let me show you this. This is supposed to sort of sit on top of each other, right, like that. Okay. That don't fit there. That's a burnisher. Get out. Right. So these are well loved. Don't get me wrong. Hi, Val. But these aren't as easy. I know the packaging isn't important to some people, and I agree, but if you're going to use them a lot, now these go on top of each other like that. Well, this is only 72, or they fan out in front of you, so they do that. Oh, I nearly dropped them all again. Sorry now. But I mean, it's like you can't thingy the two, because they're both, you know, chalk and cheese, isn't it? So that's the 120. I don't want to use them. Now I'm just going to have a quick look at some of the things that it tells you to do. So I did do these on the TV. They were very popular. Yeah, these have been since 1908. Really good. Yeah, all the things I've already told you. So we're going to do some little experiments. So just to see. Yeah, it goes on. I'll go through all this properly. I've done it on TV again, like I say. I'll do it again. And I love the lay down of colour. I like the fact that you can rub these out as well, you know, if you don't like them. So, paraffin oil. It's weird that, isn't it, when I use coconut oil? So it's the oiliness. And yet it says you're enabled. So this is a great little leaflet. It's in all the languages you could think of. Japanese, Korean and Chinese, Spanish, Italian, French, Deutsch, German, sorry. So in English. and I think they would do. There's about 120 different places in the world that they stock them from, so I think they're just as right. This is a Faber-Castell medium pad. You don't need it, you just need a place or paper to know what it looks like and how it's going to behave with that paper. So this is the one I did for the TV, and I'll do it again because obviously yeah, I mean, I chucks things around. I'm terrible on swine for it, but it's what we do, isn't it? It's what we do. We don't want to do it, but we do it. So the first thing, I'm going to use these first because I've got these first things. The pencils are bigger. The bigger. Now, what do you mean by bigger? So if I pull out a Polychromo and a Prisma, the bigger. Can you see? Hope you can see that. And also, it's encased here, so the wax is in. So the oil pigment is encased. Here, it's not. Right? Now, you can tell the difference between these and the Faber-Castell watercolour because the watercolour are hexagon and these are round. So let's look. Right, okay, you can sharpen these to a very big point. You should never sharpen Prismas to a point. A long point, you should always sharpen them to a small point. If anything, you should sharpen your Prismas that way, that small, and your Faber-Castells, you can go forever with them. You can go really long. In fact, that's probably longer than that. That's longer than a Prisma should be. Because they break because of the wax in them. I have put mine in the oven. It's clearly marked what it is. It's got all your stuff on it, your numbers, your brands, and your with your digits things. So first things first, let's go for a little shading. What am I using here? Dark indigo. So let's go with, now this is really important. Absolutely, Caroline, absolutely. You could put like fun foam in there. That you're probably best having me like that, Jackie. Yeah, you could put fun foam in there, no problem. No problem at all. Yeah. However, you couldn't do it with the Prismas, possibly, yeah, you've got a little lip. You could put, you know, a bit of that, you know, when you get that white plastic stuff in packaging, probably that. Oh, sorry, I'm knocking everything. So I'm going to do a little bit of a test out for you. So let's go with layers first, okay? So the first thing is, so that's so you can see. So the first thing is I'm just going to quickly draw out some, like, do I need to? I don't think I really need to. So the first thing we're going to do with blending, okay, or sorry, layers. So they do actually say you need to blend in layers. So let's have a little experiment. So I'm going to do, first of all, never, if you want dense dark pigment, you use your pencil this way. Totally, Helen. If you want to lay down more pressure and colour, you have it as your right hand, and then if you want to shade, you can hold it up the pencil more, yeah, or even on the side like that, which is your blending. So I'm going to go for whichever way up there. Remember that your fingers are in the way when you're doing this. So it's very, very, very important that you shade. And you shade and almost shade off the paper and get the muscle memory in your arm going so that you've got the same sort of pressure going. So I'm just going to shade. one layer. Now I'm just changing the pencil around because it automatically sharpens it, yeah? So that's one layer. Continue it. And I'm holding my pencil like that. See, it's in my hand. So my hands are cup in the end, and that helps, it really does help. Hi Michael. So there's one layer, alright? So now I'm going to stop there and I'm going to do 2 layers. Why am I doing this? To show you the difference in layers. 3 layers. Four layers. Five layers. 6. 7. 8. Can you see? There is a distinct. So it's really important. It's still sharp as well. So it's really important as I'm working that way. There's more layers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let's go for full pressure. This is probably around 11 and 12, where I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just keep going over the layers. So I'm holding the pencil nearer the end now to get more pressure. So we can get lots of pressure, different colour altogether. Oh, that's good, Emma. But you're already talented, you'll know this. You've been doing it your way for a long time, and it's not, your way is just as good as anybody's. It's just how you find sometimes little tweaks can be really helpful. So let's go with a blend now. So, yep, I'm loving that. I could try it with my Prismas as well. So here's a basic blend. So now I'm going to try quite heavily. So I'll say, hi Cap. So here I'm going to go with it. Yeah, it does work light to dark, but when you do it this fast, this quick, you can't move anywhere. You can't put anything on the top. So the idea is to do this. So if I show you now in this little one where I'm going to go over it again, I can keep going over this. But I've not filled the paper. And by filling the paper, I'm not allowing anything else to be put on top. So I can't mix or anything. So the layers now with Prismas, you go elf for leather out if you want. See, get very dark and layer upon layer. Hello, Elaine. I know, Jane, you've got yours. So you can see there's a big difference. So let's go for blending. So blending is quite different in the fact that that's layers. Blending is when we get control of pressure. So just give yourself a couple of times to just try out how much pressure you need to lay down. You start off really light. Back over. Back over. It's all about pressure of your arm, not just your hand. It's not working, it's working from your arm, your elbow, your shoulder. Can you see how I can blend? Yeah? Hope that's making sense to you now. So layers using the shaft of your pencil, moving up. You lay down the colour. Once you've laid down the colour, you then can put the blend there. So I really like the idea of this is being able to layer, and layer's very different and blending's very different. So now what we're going to do is try and go the opposite way so that we've got muscle memory. Once we do it, again, if your pencil's not too, clever, rub it out. It don't matter with these, you can rub them out. So I'm going to start really light. Right, now I'm taking my pencil completely off the paper. Now this, if you're serious about, say, realistic drawings or photorealism, this is how you shade. That fine that you're doing delicate strokes. So what I'm trying to do is to show you how light I can do it. Oh, so this is blending using very light pencil markings, and you can see even though the layers, there's 6 or 7 layers, it's very light. So lay down your pencil with more force and further apart. That's another way. Something very therapeutic about this. I'm happy now. It feels like I've warmed up. When you get to this point, you've warmed up. So you look at that and you think, I really like that, because I know how strong it is and how much pressure I need to do it. So let's have a look at another colour. So I'm going to try it this way, where we're just going pressure off. So it's almost like stitching. So I'll put the pressure off. Now longer sweeping lines. Shorter lines. With more intention, and as you see, as I'm putting pressure down, I'm moving nearer to the tip. So there you go, using blending that way. So you can do it. I bet you are, Jane. So you can do it any way you want. It's all about the pressure in your pencil. So let's have a little look at maybe blending using, different media to blend. So I'm just going to lay down some pencil using my, the full point. There we go, just put that down. So the next thing is I'm going to use a little bit of Vaseline, okay, just to see what Vaseline is. You don't need a lot. People always use too much. You just need, oh well, no, it's blending really nicely. And with the residue that's on your cotton board, there we go. So that's Vaseline, okay. The next one is I'm just going to be faster with this now. Let's go with Zest It. Oh, it's a dirty one. Don't need a dirty one. Right, I've only got a little bit on it. Oh wow. Now that is really easy to use. You get a distinct line, so maybe we'll have a look at how we can get rid of that. Last one. No, we've got another two. Lay down that colour. Let's go with I love this one, but it's not for everybody, you know. This is coconut oil. So this and the Vaseline seem to be very similar. This and the Vaseline seem to be really similar. I really love that because you get some subtle effects with the Vaseline and the petroleum and the last one. Might not work because this is an oil, but we'll see. This is what it's about. So here I've got a bit of a hand gel. Yeah. Oh. This dries really quickly. It's sort of blending. Now I'm going to look at blue. Right, the Zest It goes through. The others don't. So that's Zest It. So now I'm going to try working on top. Yeah, you can work on top of the Vaseline. Oh, it's really good to go over the Zest It. Really is nice, that. Soft. Coconut oil, perfect. Not as good. The does go over the colour, but it's not as good, you know, the hand gel. So I think we'll leave the hand gel to I think the second one, that one was Zest It, wasn't it? The first one was Vaseline, Zest It, oil, hand. Yeah, the only one that's come through is Zest It. So you can work on top of them. I'd say these are softer, that's strong, and that's only half. So yeah, you can pick and choose. So now I'm going to do a nice blend. So I'm going to pick up some colours and I'm going to do a beautiful blend to see if I can get. So we've got 2 reds, 2 purples. We're going to see what we get, okay? So first one. Four layers, and I'm going to go over with this one. Trick is to keep going back with the original colour with these. Always keep going back with the original colour. That looks alright, but it's still too dark for me. So I'm going to pick up another red now and just So can you see I've used those two reds, so I've got a darker red, but it's not as good as I want that. So what I have to do, but I'll show you there's a way of doing it, a really easy way of doing it. That's better. Can you see I'm getting the shade? But I'm still seeing too much purple, so I need to really go in with my reds. Because what I want it to do is basically look red and not blue. Or purple, sorry. I just want it to be darker. A darker red. Not bad, but I can still see it. Can you see it? Okay, don't like that as much, so I'm going to go the opposite way now. Oh, excuse me 1 minute. There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. Something that I had to buy for my computer, for my printer. Right, so we've got the ink down, the paint, or pencil. Right, I'm just going to lie down the colour I want that way. So lots of layers. Concentrating on one area there. Now I'll put the blue in, or purple. And then go back over. I think you'll find that to me the original colour going down first helps to sort of keep the colour but darken it. Can you see? I prefer that one to that one. You can see the difference there, can't you? So you've got like lots of different ways of working with them. I'm going to do a gradient square now. I'll just try, and I need an apple really to draw with, or to draw. So let's put it into perspective. Now, the one rule which I always moan about is have whatever you're drawing in front of you, and I've not. So bear with me. I'm breaking my own rule. Right, so I've got an apple shape. It's not perfect. None of my work is. So just having it like that. Right, so I'm going to lay down the colour. More or less all over. Now I'm retaining a white area here. So what you can do is put your white on first and block out where you want your colour to be. Okay, so now I'm going to lay down the colour. Okay, so I've got some colour down. Now the light's coming here, right? So that's going to be darker. So what I can concentrate on is just using my pencil further down. Now you can use little round circles like that, which helps to alleviate any line issues you might have with your pressure. It's up to you. And then I know it's going to be dark there, So I'm like there. But I still want the colour on. I still want it to look red, but I don't want it to look... It's going to be darker here because the light can't get to it. So I'm going to go in with the other red to add a bit of mixing. So now I'm going to do this bit here. So you can spend hours doing this, seriously, but you all know that anyway, don't you? So I'm just strengthening up this. Going all over it now, tiny bit. Now I'm going to introduce some dark. So we could do the purple, or we could do with the blue, or we could go with the dark brown, whichever you want. So I'll do a bit of dark brown because you've seen what the blue does, and I'll use some purple as well. So just here, and where it's dark, I'm just going to put a little bit of the pencil, okay? So, and then just blend it out. What I don't want is a line. So you can use your little squiggly lines like that if you wish. So go back in with a red to tame down that colour. You want the darker colours to do just that, to darken the red. You don't want a red purple or a red brown. You want it to be a darker red and a darker brown, if that makes any sense, because otherwise you're just losing the colour of your object, and you don't want to lose the colour, you just want to add depth, don't you? So I'm just going to add a little bit of bright. Just to give it a little bit more shadow. It does take a long time. There's no if and or buts about it. It does, to build up the colour. Bye, Michael. To build up the colour, it does take a while. I'll go with some dark indigo now, just to darken this even more. And the pressure is light. Now you'll have to forgive me that it looks so dodgy. It's because I haven't got an apple in front of me, but so that's with more blue in, purple, sorry, indigo. Remember, you want it to be a dark red. You don't want it to be a purple with a bit of red on it, or a brown with a bit of red on it. You need that. Don't worry about the edge just yet. Okay, so we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. Okay, so we're getting there. It started to look a little bit more like an apple. Well, I hope it does. And then I'm just going to blend this colour here with my fingertips, because I'm going to soften it up. I don't want it to be pure white. Now, if I wanted to be a bit clever here, start bringing in the lighter reds. I'll explain why. Because you're actually introducing light through colour. So just a little bit here, not too much attention to it, but you still want it to be still want it to be light and red, but you don't want it. You can add your other colours. So I'm adding the other reds, but I'm adding lighter reds. So we're going, let me just show you what I mean. So we're going that way with lights to create light. So, I mean, you could go as far as, if I had my other set, I wouldn't want for any colour, but I have got them, I'm just not using them at the moment. So now I can add a bit more warmth. So I like to put the colour all the way through the apple, well, through the object, and then it doesn't look like there's just orange on one bit. There we go, so we've got a bit more orange on it. Go back to your reds, go backwards, so you're going light to dark, dark to light, in that order. Again, add a little bit more colour here if you wish. Now you've got your colour laid out, you can start to really concentrate on colouring, you know, the edges of your work with a bit more pressure. Starting to come alive now, isn't it? So now going light to dark, light to dark, dark to light. You hold your breath when you're doing, well, I do hold my breath when I'm doing this. There we go. So we've started to get that one little highlight that we've left, the white underneath it. You should always have the picture of what you're drawing, always, because if you don't, you're making it up. And you need to see where light hits. But I've been drawing apples for quite a while now, so, but I would still recommend that if you're going to do this, have the object in front of you so that you've got the pure reference. I'm going to go in with the white now, just to blend that little bit there. Now this is blending it. Sometimes if you're not careful you can get a pastel colour. I don't want a pastel colour, I want it red. So this is where you go back in, and this is that pressure I was saying, when your arm and your elbow and your wrist and, you know, your shoulder all. No, but it's glowing, I want it to glow. I hope this is making sense to people. Oh, we've gone right down in viewers. Thank you. Could pick it up and eat. I don't think it's that good, but thank you. If I was to spend a little bit more time, it'd look a bit more realistic, but at the moment it's a bit of a, I'm only just showing you how they work. And I think the problem is I never really have this time on TV to work, so I'm using the Faber-Castell mixed media paper, but you know, use what you've got basically, because if you don't, you can go out and buy stuff if you want, but to me, you want to know what it looks like on the paper you've got. You're not buying extras, you know what I mean? That's how I believe. Just try it out on everything and you'll be quite surprised. What I'm going to do now, it's called burnishing. I always get these two wrong, right? Blending and burnishing. Okay, so I'm blending the colours in now using the white, but there are burnishers. Now I could use my oil on that if I wished. I could blend it with some oil, but now that's just like a reference piece, as you said. But can you see now I've filled the paper, no more can go on. But you've got that idea of it being three-dimensional. Now here's a black, and I'm being so light with this. You remember when I was doing that, how really light? Sorry, that one. That's how light I'm being. Very little. Yeah, I've just done that, Jane. See, I'm adding some darker bits now to give it that bit of oomph. Still, I want it to be red. Dark red. What I don't want it to be is black with a bit of red on it, as I said before. Pick your reds. Oh yeah. I hope it looks like an apple. I'll be a bit defeated if it doesn't, because I haven't got one in front of me. I'm not confident about absolute brilliance of light or out. Right, bringing the colour hopefully alive off the paper. Hopefully that looks... Oh, thank you. Hi Phil. Hi Jane. I'm hoping that that's sort of coming off the page a bit. When I put the white down first, I went back on and smudged it in, and it to get that lightness sort of thing. Now I use the black very sparingly, seriously sparingly. That's a bit too dark down here, so I'm going to go in with my reds. Okay. Now, the way you can get rid of that, not get rid of it, but help it out, is if you've gone too dark, or the dark looks too dark as an edge, put a tiny bit of the red over it, and just pops out a little bit there. Just a little bit. You won't see it much, but just enough to make it red. Make the line red again, and then just rub it out with your rubber if you want, no problem. This is when really the last bit, when you're starting to really put the colour down, So I'm really putting the colour down here. It's still got a nice waxy glow, so I'm going to put a bit of orange in there to really give that. And you can be a bit rougher with it now. There we go. Can you see? I'm getting that shine through it. Can even go lighter. But it has to be blended. And the satisfaction you get from this is untrue. It really is. It's amazing. Because you go from something flat on the piece of paper to something that looks quite alive. And shiny and glossy. And it's not shiny and glossy. It's quite matte actually. But by using the light to dark method, layers. Right, now I have got my Faber-Castell. Sorry, no, I did have it. I used it before. Come out, wherever you are. Where are you? Are you ready? Now, I need to get, that's really strange. Well, I bought them separate, so I'll get the separate ones. I'm just going to put white back on it here. And I've got my, I buy these separate. These are well padded when I get them, because these are the ones that break. I've got my separate Prisma colours. And I'm just going to put in the white. Bear in mind it wouldn't take any more white, but this has gone over it. Just going to warm it up a little bit. So you got a nice, see how it works on top of it? It's quite difficult to explain how good these white Prismas are to use on top of your work. People don't realise just how good they are. They're much better for density wise. I can show it you on black paper as well. But just to give this a little bit more reality, what I'm going to do is just show you how to do a shadow. So you lay down the colour. It really is easy. Practice, practice, practice. Now, unless you've got a really hard, which this is not hard light, otherwise there would have been a definite like window shape or whatever shape. You don't need to be as harsh. You can make it a bit fuzzy. So for that reason, when you're doing the sort of shadow, if you put it fuzzy on the edges, so just a little bit, it's not as harsh, but you can still do the same. You've grounding it now by adding the layers again. So I'm going to go back in the way I did, the purples, the browns, but not the reds. Starting to look, hopefully, the purple in it. Don't forget, I'm changing the colour now and I don't want that, so I'm going to go back to the brown or the grey or the black. And each time you're doing that, you add another layer. Now, there has to be a definite edge. Now it's starting to look a bit more real, isn't it? That definite, you have to have light next to dark. And that's the black. Giving it that. It really is worth practicing, honestly, because you just get so much satisfaction. I've got a fuzzy blend. Yes, Jane, the Prisma Whites, I bought these separately. They're not cheap, from the pencil shop. So it's I think it's one lady does it, and she's a fellow artist, and she said she wanted to buy pencils. It's the only place I've been able to find them in the UK. She delivered very quickly as well. Yeah, the pencil shop. I can put a link up if you want. Well wrapped, because they break. And it's worth having a couple in your arsenal for all your white work. Pencil, like Prismas and Faber-Castell, all work brilliantly on parchment, Jane. Right, so I've grounded it a little bit, even more if I put an edge. So now popping some colour behind it. Just giving it a bit of a hue behind it to make it look, you see now. And then what I would put is now the light's coming this way, so sometimes it's to give you that feel. If you put some like lines like that, you're giving yourself like a direction of light, and it helps it a lot. So yeah, it's not finished yet. It needs a lot more. Can you see sorry, it's not going great, that camera there, but even close up I can see it still needs work, but it looks okay. It looks all right. It's not brilliant because I've not put my I've not put enough layers on it. When you put enough layers on, you won't be able to get any more in. But what I will do is keep going, getting the fine line, and just like that. And that really does give it a pop of colour now. See, there's white bits, so blend that out. I'm going to go back in with the red so I don't get too much orange. Soften the focus on it. So yeah, so I hope that, well, I'm going to I have spoken to the person who get these off, and I'm going to do I don't understand it. I'm a dinosaur, aren't I, really? But I'm going to try and do a little bit more of the ticky-tacky, tic-tac-toe, whatever it is. Right, just going to show you what I mean about pencil lay down. So you can tell the difference, again, the ends. So we've got Faber-Castell, Prisma. I'm just going to show you now what I mean. So I'm going to go down with the Faber-Castell to show you on black, okay? Great shading, really great shading. And I'm going to put on as many layers. And I'm going to, now, right, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to show you. Can't get any more on. Can you see how it's lifting the paper? I can't get any more in. Right? Now this is Prisma. Lay down of colours, beautiful. Right, you're going to see a big... I can see the difference. Maybe others can't. You see it? Or is it me? Faber-Castell, just to show you. Can you see the difference? Now I'm going to use a Prisma. You can see the difference now. Can you see the difference? Turn that off. And there's the two together. Sorry, the light's making it really tricky. That one there is Prisma, and that one's Faber-Castell. Faber-Castell is smoother. Prisma, obviously waxier. I'm using Faber-Castell on top. Nice. Opposite way round, you can see either way. That one and that one is Prisma. That one and that one is Faber-Castell. Yeah, because I was talking to you about it, Rachel. We were saying that you've always gone with the Faber-Castell for the light. I did until I tried just gentle techniques with the pencil, with the white, and each time everything I did, it came up that the Prisma was whiter. So yeah, I've got that on black. We've had a little bit of a mess with this apple. Needs more work on it, but after saying that, I haven't got a reference bit near me, so it's not great in the fact that had he had the reference, it'd probably be a bit more lifelike. But yeah, 101, pencils, blending, practice, create depth with the pressure from your elbow, your arm, create warmth of colour using pencils, you know, build up colours. This is getting a real weird shape, isn't it? You know, take your time. Wow, this has got all sorts of shapes to it. And try your pencils. And the next best, the first thing really is that when I go away now, I'm going to just sweep that up a little bit because it's annoying me. I'm going to add a swatch card to my work. Just going to put a bit of light there. Tiny bit of light. Not too much. I'm having to use the Prisma on it because nothing else will go in. Just break it up with a little bit of red because I don't want it too light. That's a bit light. I'll go over it with orange and then it'll look like a halo and a haze. That's better. There we go. So you can see now. I hope that helped. Different ways of using your pencils, different, you know, stuff that you can use, but it's really simple to get great results as long as you know what to use and how to use it. So remember, layers, colours, mix, light to dark, dark to light, and repeat and repeat and repeat. So you're actually going back and forth with all your colours. That way you retain your natural colour and the colour that you want back, and darken it rather than darken your colour to a black. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm going to sit down. I've got 12 boxes to sort out. I can't sit down yet, but yeah, I'm doing some thread painting at the moment, silk shading, and I'm trying my best to understand colour so I can put it in my thread work as well. So yeah, this sort of practice allows you to do it in whatever field that you're into. So if you're into different sorts of art, like I'm missing a pencil. Is it? Oh, there it is. If you're into your silk painting, thread painting, collar, all of these areas, knowing your shading really helps you. There's only one oil, Blinis, and that's Faber-Castell. Everything else is wax, if that helps you. Yes, if people do, what I'll do is when I finish the video, I'll put a little link to the web shop. I've not got any affiliations with her or them, whoever it is. I just know that that's where I got mine from. And I just wanted what white pencil. I didn't want them all, but it's a good place if you use a special one, like if you use a pink, you can use a pink on, because what we tend to do is not use them as much. I mean, I will go through sharpness another day, but thank you for your time. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and I'll put this out to share with people if you want to share it, and you know, and get people along. Brilliant. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.